Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. On today's video I am going to go through a list of all the important makeup products that you are going to need when you're starting out in your makeup journey. I know the market is filled with a ton of products, so it can be quite overwhelming for someone who's just starting out. Hopefully this video will help you to see what's really important and what you can really live without. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the video. So the first thing that you're going to need is a primer. The one that I'm showing you here, it has green clay because my skin tends to turn reddish after I wash it with hot water. So the primer depends on what your skin issues really are, so you want to get one that addresses the issues that you have. For example, if you have dry skin, you want to go for a more like a moisturizing primer. If you have oily skin, you want to go for like a mattifying or something that controls the oil. So when it comes to primer, I know a lot of people say it's a crime not to prime. I really don't agree with that, because when I started out I didn't use a primer and it was completely okay because my skin didn't have issues. So if you are someone who doesn't have issues, you can really live without a primer. But if you do issues, get one that's really going to help you solve the issues that you have on your face. So yeah, that's the first products that you are going to need. The second thing that you are going to need is a foundation. The one that I use is by Wow, and I got this one from dischem and it's in shade Toast. So when it comes to a foundation, you want to make sure that you're getting something that really matches your skin tone or something that's a little bit closer. So if you can't find something that's your exact shade, you want to go for something that's a little bit darker, because it's quite easy to correct something that's darker than it is to finish something that is lighter. So you get a foundation that is lighter and you will correct it with the products that I'm going to be showing you next. So the next thing that you are going to need is a concealer. The one that I use is by Wet n Wild and it's in medium tawny. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I prefer this one over the Ilya one because of the applicator. This applicator is a little bit more firm than the Ilya one, because I think that one is a little bit more flimsy, and that's why I think this one is a little bit more beginner friendly, because you can quite control the product and how you apply it, and it's quite easy because like I said, it's firm. So with the concealer, you want to go for one that matches, or that's 2 shades lighter than your foundation, because you want to use it to highlight and also to correct if you have really darker foundation. It's going to help you to balance out the darkness and all of that, and to bring back dimension to your face. And yeah, with concealer, you want to get one that's also like super full coverage, because the purpose of a concealer is to highlight and to brighten. Then you're not going to achieve that look with something that's a little bit more satin finish and all of that. So be very careful of that. So yeah, let's move on to another thing that you're going to need. So this next product, it's not really beginner friendly or like something that's really important when you're starting out, but I know some people will insist that they want to do the eyeshadow and all of that, which brings me to this product. The one that I'm showing you here is by Essence, and I got this about 2 years ago, and I think it was like just like a promotional thing, so I don't think it is available in the store. But the reason why I picked this one is because it has neutral colors, like you can see. So for someone who's just starting out, I would suggest that you go for the more neutral shades and all of that, because they're quite easy to blend. And even if you're not perfect when it comes to blending, you can get away with unevenness and all of that, unlike with colors. With those one, you really have to know your stuff. So that's why I would suggest that you go for the more neutral palettes and all of that. To blend out, you're going to need a blending brush, which is this one. I wouldn't suggest that you go with a flat brush, because the stuff that you do with your flat brush, you can easily achieve that with just your fingers like this. Say for example, you want to apply this really shimmery shade, you can just do this and then swap it on your eyes. So really, unless you have the budget for a flat brush, then you can go for that as well. But what you need when you're starting out is just a blending brush, because it's gonna help you with that, and these two go hand in hand. So if you feel like you can live without an eyeshadow palette for now, then you don't have to buy this, because this one you use to blend out your eyeshadow. So yeah, let's move on to the other products that you're going to need when you're starting out with your makeup journey. Moving back to complexion products, I am not really into powders because my skin is like really dry, and when I apply a lot of powders, it tends to make it look a little bit more patchy, and it accentuates the flaws that I'm essentially trying to hide. So I stay away from powders. However, I do use this one. This is a highlighting, this is a contour and highlighting powder by Ilya, and has 2 shades. This one, I believe it's used to sort of like set your concealer, and this one is, you can use this as a bronzer or just to bring back the shape into your face and dimension and all of that. So I mainly use this one and this one to set my eyelids because it tends to crease a lot, and I don't set my concealer over here because it just brings back all the issues, like I said, that I am essentially trying to hide. So I don't use powders. But for someone who has really oily skin, you might want to go for these ones. This is sort of like a pressed powder. There is an option for a loose powder as well. You can get that one, but I think a pressed powder is quite easy to use because it's not like really heavy duty like a loose powder, because that one you have to wait for it to set and all of that. So that's like too much work for someone who's just starting out. So I would suggest that you go for like a pressed powder. And with pressed powder, you want to get 3. You want to get one that matches your shade, another one that matches your concealer, and another one that's like going to be used to bronze out. Or you can get like a translucent shade that really doesn't have color, so you can use it on both parts. I'm not quite sure what I'm talking about when it comes to powder, because I'm personally not a fan. I don't use powders. So yeah, when it comes to powder, you might have to want to watch another video, of course, when you're done with this one. So yeah, let's move on to another thing that you are going to need. Moving on, these are 2 products and this is how they look, although I don't think my camera can capture that correctly or nicely because of the camera quality. But you are going to need a blush as well as a highlighter. That's if you can find a palette that comes with those 2. But if you just want to get one, the one thing that I would suggest you get is a highlighter, because it just makes your face glowy and all of that. So I would suggest that you get a shade that matches with your skin tone. So if you have like a cool tone, you want to go for like those silvery highlighter, and if your skin is a little bit on the warm side, you want to go for the goldish highlighters. And when it comes to blush, I really don't know much. I just bought this because it has this one and it's not that bad, but I feel like when it comes to blush, you can get away with anything because it disappears before you even leave the house. So with the blush, just get one that matches your skin. I would say maybe if you're dark, you go for the like more darker blushes. So that would be your magentas, your reddish and all of that. Stay away from your peaches and all those because it's gonna throw off your makeup. So yeah, so I left a few products containing the eye makeup, and that is an eyeliner. The one that I prefer is this one. This one has a firm applicator, but I would say for someone who's beginning to go for the pen one because it's quite easy to control. You guys, lining your eyes is very difficult. I'm still struggling with it at the moment, but for someone who's beginning, I would say you get the pencil one, and make sure to get quality eyeliner, because if you go for the cheap product, you might find that it's dry and it doesn't really do anything. Like this one I got from Dragon City, and it doesn't really do anything. When you try to move it, it dries out and it's matte. It doesn't do anything for me. So yeah, I would suggest that you invest in a quality product. You can go for the drugstore ones, maybe your Maybellines or your Essence products. Those one would really work, because the one that I had previously was by Essence and it was great. This one doesn't work. So when it comes to eyeliner, the lesson here is to invest in something that is quality. And also I would suggest that you get like a black eyeliner. Don't go crazy and start with colors and all of that, because it's a little bit tricky. When it comes to makeup, you have to learn one step at a time. Otherwise, if you do too much, you will look a little bit crazy. Moving on to another product that you're going to need is a mascara. This one, you have to get one that is volumizing, unless you have lash extensions, which I think after you've applied makeup, they might like get stained, and you might want to have them to brush a mascara just to bring back the volume and the color and all of that. But I wouldn't suggest that you start with falsies yet because they're quite difficult to apply. So when it comes to mascara, get one that volumizing, and the one that has strands that are a little bit like this gives your natural eyelashes a bit of volume and length, so go for something that achieves that look. So now moving on to lips, the one thing that you are going to need is a lip liner. You're going to need a lip liner because most shade, especially nude shades, they don't really match your skin tone, so you're going to need something that you're going to use to blend out the harsh lines or to transition from your skin shade to the color that you're going to be applying, especially if it's a lot darker, a lot lighter than your skin tone. And it also helps to give your lips a little bit of more like a shape and all that. So you're going to need maybe like a brownish color because I think it's perfect for every skin tone and it matches with every lip color. And moving on to lip color, the one that I picked is this nude color, and you then starting with the nude will be a great idea. I prefer a matte lipstick because it's just more easy and like it's easy to apply. When it comes to like your satin and all of those, they tend to disappear after a few hours in, but like a matte lipstick will stay on and it doesn't like transfer easy. So yeah, a matte nude lipstick all the way. Now moving on to the final products that you're going to need, and that is your setting spray. This is going to melt away all the powders and melt away and mix it with your foundation, and to give you a shine if that's what you're looking for, or to leave your makeup mattified if that's the look you're going for. Personally, I prefer dewy finish, so I go for the more moisturizing setting powder. This one is great because it's a setting powder as well as a primer, so if you get this one you won't have to get a primer, but depending on the issues that you have, then you might also want to get another primer, which is why I have this and I also have a primer. So yeah, that's it concerning all the makeup products that you are going to need. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content because I post weekly videos. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye.